Do you remember the Ambessa book? You probably don't, so I will remind you. It's a prequel to Arcane and it will be released on the 18th of February, so very soon. Personally, I pre-ordered it already. I wasn't 100% convinced that I want to buy it. There are other options, for example an audiobook version, which I will probably still get because apparently I'm not sure when I'm gonna get the book. It says March 3rd, so the release date is on the 18th and there is a long time to wait up until I receive the book. But we'll see what happens. Maybe that's just an estimate and not the actual time when I will receive the book. It's still a progress since I pre-ordered the Arcane art book and I'm still not sure when I'm gonna get that. As I said previously, I'm hoping I will get it by the time I need to open the Christmas presents. Actually, that's going to be my only Christmas present. But besides that, the idea of this video is talking about this review, which kind of pushed the idea that I want the book even further to a 100% yes, I want this book after reading this article. It's an early review of the book and it was recommended by this account on Twitter. Then I went on and I read it. Obviously, I will not post it over here because I don't want to steal their content. So the link is in the description if you want to check it out yourself. It was created by or posted on the winteriscoming.net website. I will mention some pointers though because I believe these are important to add. Part of the verdict is that after reading the book you will want to go back and watch Arcane because many of the scenes which are showcasing Mel and Ambessa, all of those scenes have much more weight after reading the book. So that's obviously very intriguing. And another point brought up by the writer of the article, or rather the review, is that there are characters who people who play League of Legends will recognize. Obviously it's about other champions who will be part of the story, but there is one character in particular the reviewer mentions who will be part, or they think this character is going to be part of future stories. I believe it's going to be Swain, but we'll see what's going to happen. I would be ultra surprised if Swain is not part of the book. I would be also ultra surprised if they do not showcase the Ionian invasion, which already happened based on the cinematic and based on other ideas. For example, that princess was an Ionian princess. We can find that information, which was posted by SpiderX at one point on Twitter, I believe. The thing is, other than that, we will get to see how Ambessa became the leader of House Medarda and how Mel was exiled, right? Because we know all of that storyline and how she ended up in Piltover. All of this story is ultra interesting, or at least to me. Now, I understand that for many people, the idea of an Ambessa book is not very intriguing, not very interesting because their favorite character is someone else. But at the same time, you have to consider that this is part of the entire storyline, not only Arcane and what happened in Arcane and the characters from Arcane. And the characters from Arcane, their story is not ending with Arcane. You will still be able to know more about them in future storylines. I mean, that's a given already. Another thing I wanted to bring up is the synopsis of the book, in case you haven't seen it. I mean, I will go through it right now. Ambessa Medarda, warrior, general, mother. She is a woman to be feared, and the Medardas are unrivaled in the pursuit of glory. She has led conquests and armies, she has slain legendary beasts, she has made grave sacrifices in her ascent up the ranks, and for this she was rewarded. She entered the realm of death and was granted a vision of herself upon the throne of the vast Noxian Empire. But before she can lead her empire, she must become head of her own clan, yet the title is contested by her cousin and former confidant, Tafik. He knows the bloody sins of Ambessa's past, and he knows he cannot allow her to rise. They will fight a war for the very soul of the Medardas, but the war won't be fought on battlefields alone. Ambessa's daughter, Mel, can deftly break through the walls around anyone's heart, and she'll put her talents to use for her mother. Yet, despite Mel's strength, Ambessa sees only a child who lacks her killer instincts. Mel knows she can be the leader Ambessa wants her to be, if only she gives her time. With her family betraying her, enemies closing in on all sides, and unseen forces moving in the shadows, every day proves more dangerous than the last. But Ambessa will not bow. She will burn the world down to claim her place in it. Now I will go through this synopsis and I will give my opinion on what I believe everything means. So first of all, we have the idea that she led conquests and armies. It reminds me a lot of that scene from Arcane where she has that conversation with Mel in the past. Whenever she executes that girl, that's probably one of the battles which is going to be part of the book. After that, we have the idea that she has slain legendary beasts. She mentions in Arcane that she hasn't seen a beast who fights with such savagery when talking about Warwick. Who knows what beasts or legendary beasts are going to be part of the book, but something weaker than Warwick. She made great sacrifices. That's one of the principles she mentions in addition to the ones which are core to the Noxian Empire. A fourth principle, which is sacrifice. Then we have a reference to the Ambessa music video because of this line over here. She sees herself on the throne of the vast Noxian Empire. That's part of the Ambessa music video. In the next paragraph, we find out about this plotline of Ambessa being contested on her way to become the leader of the Medarda family. I mean, that's going to happen anyways. But then we have something to look forward to in this paragraph, the relationship between Ambessa and Mel. Now that's, as I said, something to look forward to. And in the final paragraph, we have these unseen forces moving in the shadow. I believe that's a reference to the Black Rose. And now, while we are on the topic of books, and because I know everyone from Riot Games watches my videos, I'm very important guys, I have an idea, or at least, or to some extent, I hope that they are going to do this. In League of Legends they have seasons, and from a narrative perspective each of the seasons are connected, but each season has a specific theme. The first one is related to Noxus, a Noxus cinematic, a Noxus skin line, Noxus themed comic books, and the Noxus book. Whatever else they want to release, it's up to them, but what if in the future they want to release a season themed around Bilgewater? Then they could release a book about a specific character and tie some more events of Arcane with this character and another region from the world of Runeterra and the region they mentioned they're exploring. If you don't remember, Christian Link, the co-creator of Arcane, mentioned that they are exploring Noxus, Ionia, Demacia and Bilgewater, so maybe these upcoming seasons in League of Legends will be related to each of these zones. And of course, if that's going to happen, then we will receive a lot of lore elements related to specific characters maybe, who have their story related to some of these regions. Cinematics, books, comics, whatever else they want to release. This idea and thinking about a constant release of lore elements makes me very hopeful for the future. But you can tell me your own opinion in the comment section and what would you like to see when it comes to the lore of the world of Runeterra.